What's up, all my fine girls? No pimple is Whit here again with another video. So I am back with the video that I said I was going to do for you guys, and that is going to be ranking my Juvia's Place palettes. Okay, I have all of them laid out. Okay, I counted. There's 52 palettes. 52 palettes that Juvia's Place has released. And your girl has all of them. And I have actually not done this video since December 2020 was the last time I filmed this. And I think when I filmed that video, I think there was 28 palettes at the time. So it's almost doubled in size. So yes, I'm going to re-rank them. I did not watch my old video, so I have an idea of like what was ranked higher and what was ranked lower. But I just ranked this based off of me currently right now in my life, like what I like, what are my preferences, you know, things change. So if you watch that video, you come and watch this one, it's like, girl, you know, you was lying, like you said like this. Listen, that was like, what, almost 3 years ago? Okay, so things have changed. So yes, let's go ahead and get into this. So the way that I'm gonna rank these palettes is based off of my preference, colors in the palettes, like, you know, how versatile they are, just kind of like really what I like. And if I had to keep palettes over others, like what will leave my collection first is how I rank it. So like the ones that are ranked lower, what, you know, if I had to give them up first, y'all can go, and I'll keep the ones that are ranked higher, you know, there. So yes, that's enough rambling. I am ready to go ahead and get into this. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I always say, somebody has to be last. So coming in at the last spot is going to be basically all the quads. And the reason why all these quads are coming in at the bottom spot is because they are quads. There's only 4 shades in here. So real quick, this is the Army palette, green. Then we have the mints, the Rebel mints. We have here the honey. And as you guys can see, these palettes are just way too, this is the gray one. These palettes are just way too curated to one color. And I just really feel like I can't get much out of them. And then I have these two right here. So this is the Disco, the Fumi palette. This is a collaboration palette. The reason why this one's ranked really low too is that this one only has two pressed glitters, one matte and one shimmer. Like, I can't do much with this. Like, if I just had to create a dedicated eye look using this one palette, I'm just stuck with the same thing over and over. Then I have the Melissa palette right here. This one has, now this one I do like a little bit better than the Fumi one just because it's a little more range, you know, like I get 2 mattes in here, 1 shimmer, 1 pressed glitter, and the pressed glitter is really pretty. So yeah, the quads came in last place just because they have less colors in them. There's only 4 shades, and a lot of them, just for me, aren't really my cup of tea. If you guys haven't watched my channel, you do know that I like to have deeper shades in my palettes, and I like to just have a good variety of colors, you know? So yes. Oh, I'm out of focus. Let me see if I scoot closer. Hopefully it's fine and it's still trying to focus on that damn perfume. All right, so the next palette that I have here is going to be the I Love Ice. This is the inside of it. It is a pastel blue palette with 1 pressed glitter. This is coming in at this spot because I don't really do pastels, okay? I do like to have a little more depth to my looks. I like darker shades. Now, for anybody who might ask, why did you buy it? I do collect Juvia's Place eyeshadows. And although for me, this is not a palette that I would use as a standalone palette, it's definitely something that I would have to pair with something else. But for the purpose of me ranking these palettes, I'm going to go based off of what they offer as an individual palette. And for me, individually, this is just not versatile enough for my liking. Next up will be the I Love. And this is kind of like Christmas themed, like kind of, it's red and turquoise. You know, Christmas is red and green. But, you know, it's close. But anyway, so this is this one. Yet again, these are colors that honestly, I just don't really want to pair with each other. Like, when I think of turquoise, I'm not thinking about the color red, and vice versa. And then also it has a red plus pressed glitter in here. I think red glitter is probably one of the ugliest glitter shades out there. I have just never seen a pretty glitter that is red. Like, usually glitters are pretty in other colors, but red, to me, is just very ugly. So, no. Then we have the Nudes by Juvia's Place. Yet again, you can see why this is rated pretty low. For me, this is just way too light. Now, if this was someone who was lighter in complexion, this would be perfect for them. But for me, it's just not my cup of tea. So that's why it's ranked lower. Then I also have the taupes here as well too. This is what this one looks like. Yeah, not my cup of tea. Then I have the Nubian Glow. Yet again, it's it's too light for me. So yeah, those are those palettes. And then I have up next here, this is the first ever collaboration palette that Juvia's Place did, and that was the Queen palette with Fumi. And so this right here is a multi-purpose palette. Like, it can be used for your eyes, your face, your cheeks, whatever, you know. I just never gravitated towards this palette. Like, I mean, it's just never really my thing. But like I said, I gotta have them all. I gotta collect them all. So I just be buying stuff. But yet again, I can definitely pair this with other stuff. But as a standalone palette, even to grab as a face palette, I just have other ones that I would grab over this. Okay, and then this one right here, this was where it all started, and that is the Nubian palette. For me, this palette is ranked lower because Juvia's Place has come out with other neutral palettes that I like better. Also, this just seems a little outdated. Like, I don't know, like, I feel like the top two rows are really pretty. The bottom row, like, honestly, they would have had this shade just been just a little bit darker. I don't like how cool tone and ashy this is. Like, it's just not my, it just, no. But yeah, they have other stuff that I like better that are neutral palettes. So this one just ranked lower. I don't really grab for this one these days much at all, but yeah. Okay, let's continue on. The next one I have here, this is the Bronze Rustic, and this is what this one looks like. This one, it's a pretty palette. I do like the fact that this shade is just a little bit darker, but yet again, I don't know. Like, I have other things that I like more, so I'll be more prone to giving this up over other things that I like from their catalog. Then we have the Allure 3 palette. This is what this one looks like. Now this shade, this is a really beautiful shade, so I love this. Yeah, look at this. Hold on real quick. What is Morphe up to right now? Okay, sorry. So yes, there's the Allure 3 palette. Honestly, I really love this palette. The only thing I would have just gotten rid of would be this icy blue shade. It's pretty, but like, for me, it's just kind of random for this palette. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like they could have replaced it with something else, but you know, yeah, there's that. Next up, I have the Vanessa palette. This one's also a very pretty palette. I feel like it was very well done, honestly, like as far as like color scheme. My only thing that I would have just loved would have been for this shade to be darker. I know I'm going to keep saying this over and over in the video. I don't want to sound irritating, but you guys, there's a way that I like to do my eyeshadow, and a lot of times if a palette does not have like deeper shades in them, I am less likely to grab that palette because I do like the shades to be darker. So yes, but if you're someone who likes, you know, more of a softer look, like you don't like the deeper, darker shadows, this is perfect. Honestly, this is a really pretty palette. Next up is the Allure 1 palette. Like, I really like this one as well too. Like, this color scheme was really pretty. It really was. Like, I love like the turquoise and camel. I feel like this flows a little bit better than like the turquoise and red that they try to do with the I Love. I definitely like this much better. Then this one, this palette, honestly, it's very random. And when I really looked at this palette, I realized none of these shades really just pair well with each other. And they're honestly all like kind of like standalone shades. And that is going to be the La Mariposa palette. This is a collaboration with Ami Angelina. So this is what this one looks like. And I believe for my review on this palette, I'm almost positive I had to grab another palette to complete the look because this was so random. Like, I mean, yeah, these two, the yellow and the orange shade pair well with each other, but like, and even like the camel shade, but then you have these other shades that you can't do anything with. But then this pink is beautiful and the glitter is really pretty. And then you have this random blue. So like, it was honestly just really like all over the place. Like, I'm like, I can't create a solid look. I just couldn't think of anything that I felt like would look pretty with this alone. But at the same time, I just like looking at it. That's why it ranked higher than like the other ones that you just saw. Even though it's so random, I like this. I don't know, it's just pretty to look at. Okay, next up I have here, this is the Fula palette by Juvia's Place. And it's what this one looks like. And this one's giving more of my vibe. Like, you know, I got my darker shades, you know, I got some lighter shades, got some shimmers. Like, yeah, I'm feeling this. I like this. And then I have here, this is the Garden of Juvias. So this is Juvia's Place's first ever all pastel palette. That's what this one looks like. She's cute or whatever. Now this shade right here, y'all can see it on camera. It's like a pink green shade. Like, it's so pretty. So if you like pastels, there's this right here. And then I have the Candy Shop palette right here, and this is what this one looks like on the inside. For me, this was not my favorite palette of theirs. I do like it more than the other ones that I listed here. But I don't know. For me, I feel like when I look at this palette, I have a hard time coming up with looks based off the colors they chose. Like, I just don't really feel creative looking at this. So that's why this one is lower, but I feel like the shades individually are really pretty. But I really wish that they would have put more complementary shades. So for example, like in the artwork, like you see the purple here. I really wish that they would have added just, you know, a couple more purple shades in here. Actually, no, I wish they would have added some purple shades altogether. Like I thought they had to, they have none. So like that would have helped flow better into like these blue shades or whatever to just kind of like transition them. But I don't know. That's just my only qualm with this. I'm like, why is there purple here? But y'all didn't give us not one purple in the palette. Ugh. Okay, let's continue on. Next up, I have the Festival by Juvia's Place, and this is what this one looks like. So this is a palette that when I first saw the promo pictures of just like the artwork, I was like, oh, I need it. Then I saw the inside of the palette, I'm like, oh, I need it. And then I got it, I'm just like, I love it. But then I realized, as pretty as she is, I am not feeling creative when I look. Like I can't come up with looks when I look at this. Like these colors to me are just kind of like random. Like yeah, these two, like these kind of flow with each other, but like the shimmers just don't really make sense with the other shades. Like I don't know, like the palette's all really random. Like these mattes are beautiful. Like actually these mattes can all definitely work with each other, but then the shimmers don't really go with, like you have a white shimmer here, got this turquoise shimmer here, this gunmetal shade here, and then this shade right here. I'm like, this is just so random. Like, I look at it, I'm like, I don't feel inspired. And then when I'm looking at the artwork, where is the black? I guess it's supposed to be that gunmetal shade. I don't know. But either way it goes, I just don't really feel inspired sometimes looking at this. But she's pretty to look at, but I'm like, I can't really come up with looks looking at you. All right, next up, these two are going to be on the same level. These are the Saharan Blush Volume 1 and Volume 2 palette. This is what this one looks like. You can use this as just a blush palette and a highlight palette, or you can use it for, you know, your eyes as well too. That's what this one looks like as well too. So there are these two here. Then I have here the Blushed Rose. This is what this one looks like. She's cute. Then I have the Olori 2. Now I love this palette. This is a beautiful blue palette. The only issue that I have with this palette is the fact that they only gave us one matte shade in here. We did not need these two blue shimmers. You could have replaced it for a matte blue shade that was like darker than this, and this palette would have been perfect, but we got 5 shimmers and 1 blue. So it's like, ugh. All right, and then next up I have this Sweet Pinks. Yet again, the palette I love. Pink is my favorite color. So of course, you know, now this palette, as far as versatility, can I do much with it? No, it's an all pink palette, but I don't know. I like her. Like I like her more than a lot of the other ones I listed out below. Like, I don't know. She's just pretty to look at. Like, I mean, I love it. And then I have the Mauves. Now this is a beautiful palette. Okay. This one right here, you can definitely get some looks out of for sure. And so, yes. I got 3 more rows. How long is this video? Right now we're at 16 minutes of unedited footage. Next up, I have the Warrior palette. And this is what this one looks like. She cute or whatever. You know, it's more shimmer heavy than matte. I wish that this matte wouldn't have been so ashy. Like, y'all, I remember... Yeah. This is actually, no, I think this palette is my highest viewed. Is it this one? I want to say it's this palette. Let me go to YouTube because I can't remember. But I want to say it was this palette. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys. This palette actually is my highest viewed makeup tutorial palette. And you guys, I didn't make a dime off that video because there was copyright music in there. This is so random, but like when I had posted that video, my channel was, I had lost my AdSense at the time because I was not posting consistently. So somehow I lost something. Like I forgot, like the rules had changed around that time. Like at first, anybody who signed up for YouTube, like you can immediately start getting like AdSense or whatever. But the rules had changed and I did not have enough watch hours at the time, but I had enough subscribers. I had over 1,000 subscribers. I didn't have enough watch hours. And so I didn't care. I was using copyrighted music. So I'm like, I don't care. Like right now, I'm not making any money off whatever. I didn't think that this video was gonna blow up like this. That video has 65,000 views, and till today, it's ineligible for anything. I didn't make a dime off of that video. That's so random. But anyways, yes, this palette is one of my highest viewed, if not my highest viewed makeup tutorial. And yeah. But anyways, back to what I was saying. In the video, I thought the shade was gonna be dark, and I realized this shade not dark. I was like, it's a little ashy, but yes, there's that. There's a little backstory there. Okay, next up I have the Zulu palette. This is a rainbow palette. It's a colorful palette. Okay, and next up I have here the violets. Another color I really love is purple. Like I love pink, green, and purple shadows. Like I love doing that on myself. So this is what this one looks like. Beautiful. Like I mean, that shade right there, beautiful, and the shimmers are gorgeous. Then I have the berries, another palette I love so much, and this is what this one looks like. Isn't she cute? She cute or whatever. And then I have the Nubian Royal. I love this palette. I love cool tone purples like that. This glitter is actually really pretty. Like, I mean, this is a really pretty palette. Then we have the Afrique. And this is what this one looks like. Then next up I have the Nubian 3 Coral. I like this palette. Like it's just like peachy, gunmetal, gray. I don't know. I like the way this palette looks. I know a lot of people didn't care too much for this, but for me, I liked it. Then we have here the Nubian 2. And this is what this one looks like. Not much to say about this one. Okay, so that's those with those rankings. Let's go ahead and do the next pile. I have the Saharan here. I love this palette. She is beautiful, stunning. Like, I mean, this is a very well done palette. Like, I mean, I love it. And you got a black in there. Okay. Got some neutrals. Got some pretty shimmers. Yeah. Then we have the Deuce. And this palette for me is just really a palette that's beautiful to look at. Like, I really enjoy looking at it. It's so gorgeous. So yeah, it ranked higher. Then I have the Warrior 3. Now for me, between this and the Zulu, let me hold this up. When it comes to my preference, I prefer this as a rainbow palette. Like if I'm gonna pick a 9-pan palette out of these two, I'm gonna go with the Warrior 3 because I just like the shades better. So that's why this one ranked higher than the Zulu, because I like it better as far as like it being a rainbow palette. Then I have the Warrior 2 palette. Another one that I love that is like a neutral tone palette that, you know, kind of gave me everything I want. Like this one actually is an all matte palette. So like, love that. This black is immaculate. It's beautiful. I love these shades. Like this is really perfect for anybody who wants like a nice all matte neutral palette. You should definitely look into the Warrior 2. And then a palette that I really found that I liked after I did my tutorial on it was the Nubian Earth. Like I used this a couple of times after that video. I was like, oh, I like this. This is a very, very, very pretty palette. It's more like on the cool tone side. And yeah, like, you know, if you're ever wanting like a nice neutral cool tone palette, you know, without too many warm shades with some pretty shimmers, you should look into the Nubian Earth because I absolutely love this. And she's beautiful, stunning. Then I have the Nomad. Yet again, if you want like a nice grungy palette, you know, that's this one. And I absolutely love this. I think she's just another one that's really well done. So yes. Okay. Next up, we got the Tribe. So this is what this one looks like. It's a beautiful green tone palette with some like, you know, pumpkin shades in there. And then I want to say, I almost want to say, because I did not watch the video, but I want to say this was my #1 palette in my last ranking. And let me see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 palettes that have outranked this, and I think this was my #1, and that's going to be the Sahara 2. I know. I still very much so love this palette, but there's other one, like when I really sat there and like laid everything out, I was like, there's other ones that I like more than this now. But this is still my baby, but you know, there's other ones I like more than her, so I'm like, I'll be more willing to part with you over them, okay? But yes. Okay, so we are like on the last pile. Okay, we're getting closer to the top. If you have not yet done so, I want you to pause the video, comment down below which you think my number one is going to be, okay? Comment down below which you think number one is going to be. All right, so let's get back into this. Next up, we have one of my favorite, actually this is my favorite 6-pan palette by them, and that is Chocolates. Y'all, this is literally a beautiful, neutral, toned palette that gives me everything I want out of it. I have my dark shades. I have these nice, like, you know, crease shade, a lid shade if I want to do an on matte look. I have these beautiful shimmers where I can still do like a dark lid. Like if I wanted to do something like chocolatey, like a chocolatey eye, I'm gonna grab this. Like this is perfection. Like I love this palette. Like this is a perfect gift, a birthday gift, whatever. Like this literally is just perfect to give. And I love it. All right, next up, this is the Masquerade palette. And this is what this one looks like. And to be honest, you're always gonna see my bigger palettes rank higher just because I don't mind big palettes. I mean, I don't want something like, you know, just huge. But usually like I do want more colors so that way I have more options to work with. But anyways, so yes, there's this. And one thing I thought of when I was looking at this palette was, it looks a little outdated. And let me explain. I feel like Juvia's Place has gotten better. Oh, sorry, my bra strap is showing. I feel like Juvia's Place has gotten better at placing colors in a palette. So for me, this was just so abrupt. Like you have a colorful palette and you have a neutral palette. And they honestly look like two separate palettes put in one. And I'm going to use this as an example, right? So where's this at? Let's take the Culture 2, for example, right? This is also a palette where it's colorful, but they have neutrals here. But they've done a great job at integrating them into the palette where it doesn't look like you're looking at two separate palettes. Like it just looks like one palette. Even though like there is more greens here, but like the greens are not like so close to each other, but they are close enough to where you can like, you know, do a look with them. But yes, if I'm making sense. While this one, it just feels like you're looking at two different things. So I feel like they've gotten better at placing colors into a palette where they still want to make something that's colorful, but add neutrals into it. But anyways, so yes, the Masquerade comes in at that spot. Next up on the list, I want to say this came in at the number 2 spot. Or maybe number 3. I don't know. But this is the Walhalla 2. And looking at this one ranked just a little bit lower than the other ones because she cute or whatever, but like it's blue heavy. If you guys don't know, like I do like a good blue eye look, but blue is not my favorite color to just put on myself. Like, I mean, it's just not. So for me, I had to be in the mood for blue to want to grab this. And then you have all these like icy silver shades here. Then you have like the neutrals and like a random hot pink and a purple glitter. Okay, next to red glitter being ugly, I think dark purple glitters as well too. Like they don't like, it's like the way they look, like they don't look cute. Like, I don't know, like the silver glitter looks pretty because I think it's like the glitter are a little bit bigger. Like this they don't look cute to me. And on the eye too. But anyways, so that's that one. Next, I have the Walhalla palette. And honestly, this was going to rank higher than this one, but then I was really looking, I was like, no, I think I like the Walhalla a little bit more. So this is what this one looks like. I was like, no. I think I like this one a little bit more. Yes, like this one gives me more range. Like, you know, I got my purples, I got, you know, these more cooler toned colors. You know, you got some greens here, some gold, some pink, some blues. You know, you get a good amount. So I was like, I think I like this one a little bit more than the Walhalla 2. But the Walhalla 2 had that, you know, that's why this one was ranking higher. It had that beautiful multi-chrome up here in the corner. I forgot, but you know, I think I like this one more. Okay, the next I have and actually I think this was in second place. I don't know, should I put this in second place? No, I'm gonna stick to what I have. This is the Magic by Juvia's Place. This is truly one of my favorite palettes by Juvia's Place, okay? I absolutely love her. This is what the inside looks like. Okay. These two shades right here give me all the light that I need. Like, I love these inky, dark blues, purple shades. Like, the shimmers in here are gorgeous. Like, I just love this. And if you guys want to see me do looks with most of these palettes, I do have tutorials. I actually have a Juvia's Place playlist of just the different looks that I've created using their palettes, whether it's a Bring Back Thursday or it's me reviewing them. So I don't have a review with all of these palettes, but for the most part, the more recent ones that came out pretty much 2020 and after, a lot of them I do have a tutorial on. So if you wanted to check that out, I do have a playlist. I actually have a playlist created for a lot of different things. So check that out if you just want to see those videos. All right. Now, if you have not yet guessed what number one is, go ahead and guess because we are down to the top 2 spots. I say top 2 because the next 2 palettes are going to be combined together because I feel like I couldn't really pick. So I was like, you know what? We're going to combine you guys together. And that is going to be the Culture and the Culture 2 palette. And this is what the Culture looks like. It is just a rainbow palette here. And then the Culture 2 is this. It is still very colorful, but it's leaning a little more green. And for me, I just really could not pick which one I like more. I was like, you know, honestly, you guys are going to be ranked in the same place because it just depends. It depends because, yeah, I couldn't pick one. I was like, I just can't. All right, now, coming in at the number 1 spot, I cannot believe. If you would have ever told me in 2020 that this would be my top palette, I would have been like, you're crazy. But, you guys, I love this palette so much. I have been using this nonstop since I did my review on this palette. And I just get so much use out of it. Like, I love it so much. And it truly is, like, when I can say confidently, at this very moment, it is my favorite palette by Juvia's Place. And that's going to be the Coffee Shop palette. That's actually what I have on my eyes today. I have been using this palette nonstop. This, like, when I say this look that I have, this is truly my everyday look. Like, every time I'm doing a look or I'm doing my makeup to go somewhere, I do this exact look. Like, I've become very simplistic with my makeup. And I, you know, like when you get older or just, you know, your life just changes. Like, you know, you want to do different things. And not to say that I won't, you know, wear colorful looks again. But like going certain places, like if I want a brunch, I'm not doing the sunset on my eyes. Like, I'm not doing the rainbow on, like, I'm just not. I'm not gonna do those looks. I feel like stuff like this just kind of goes better with most outfits. So I've just really grown to love a nice neutral eye, and the Coffee Shop palette is just that. And this is what this one looks like. She's very much so well used and well loved. Between, these are the shades that I use primarily out of this palette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7. And for my eye look today, I just took these 2 in my crease, and then I have these 2 like as the outer V shade. And then for the lid, I mix this one and this one together. Really, primarily more so this shade. If I want it to be a little bit lighter, I just do this myself, but I mix those 2 shades, and that is all that I have on my eye. I don't even use primer, you guys. I just literally take my concealer, put it all over, set it with my powder because I do my foundation first. Now, when I'm doing this eye look, because it's so simple, it's so quick to do. But anyways, the Coffee Shop palette, I can't believe I love this so much. And I even think back to my review on this palette, I was indifferent to it. I was just like, you know, it's another neutral palette. No, okay, I love her, and I feel like everybody should own this palette because she's gorgeous, she's beautiful. Like, I love it so much. Okay, I think I've done enough. This video is already like over 30 minutes, and I have to edit it down. But anyways, you guys, that is my ranking. Let me know down below what your number 1 Juvia's Place palette is. Also, comment down below what you thought my favorite. Well, I mean, by this video, I hope you would have commented. But were you close? Were you right? Whatever. And yeah, let me know down below what other videos you want to see. And until next time, I will talk to you beauties later. Bye.